Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is just another one of these informal videos I wanted to put up, and the topic, motorcycle helmets. And as you can see, I've got two of them sitting on this bike. The two that I use, one is the full face Shoei RF 1200. It's a premium motorcycle helmet. And you've got kind of a cheap $80 three quarters helmet there. So here in this state, in North Carolina, they had a referendum, or not even that, a sort of a vote to implement a change in the law for helmets. North Carolina is one of the 19 states out of 50 states that require everyone to wear a motorcycle helmet. And so that was a way to introduce legislation that basically says anyone over 21, anyone with a year's worth of riding experience can be exempt from wearing helmets. And what happened, and this was just like a couple of weeks ago, is that it had passed the initial stage, just barely, and for whatever reason along party lines. And then it went to a second sort of small committee, I want to say called the Health Committee, and unfortunately it failed there. And the reason I say unfortunately, because I'm of the opinion that, motorcycle helmets should be optional. I really do feel that, and that's coming from a perspective of a new rider. 2,500 miles under my belt, just started riding last year in my 40s. But I honestly feel, and it's actually backed up by the fact that there's 31, the vast majority of the states don't require people to wear motorcycle helmets. So if you look at the map, it's all the West Coast states that make you wear them. It's pretty much the entire Southeast, other than South Carolina, Florida, Arkansas, a few states in the Northeast. But it actually makes kind of sense where in the Southeast we are having year-round riding weather. It's pretty warm down here, and it's a lot more congested than it would be in the Southwest, like Arizona, New Mexico, Texas. So they're looking out for their riders, and I totally understand that. But my opinion is that people who are riding motorcycles, they will ultimately decide if they need to wear a helmet or not. And the reason I say that is helmets are not just for safety purposes, but also for functional reasons. If you're riding at night, you'd be a fool to ride without a helmet in one of these states, because you're obviously dealing with the bugs. You're just not as aware of your surroundings at night as you are during the daytime. And I also think, for long trips, you're probably going to have a helmet with you, just because, it's just a lot easier to put those long miles on the interstate with the full face helmet. This one, 3/4 doesn't really do you any good. So my example of, for a reason you wouldn't put the helmet on is, you just want to maybe go down to the gas station, get something to eat, and it couldn't be more than 2 miles away from your place, and you may not even go above 40 miles an hour in that route. A motorcycle at those speeds, under 40, under 35, it's like it's like 0.5% chance of anything major, or not even major, anything minor happening to you on that route. And it's just something that you just want to get on your bike and head right down to it, instead of grabbing a helmet. And most of the time we're probably not even going to put the chin strap on, and it's just going to be an afterthought anyway. So I think in those circumstances, if you're cruising, a lot of us like to cruise, and like I said, you're not going over 40. You really don't need the helmet. It's a situation where obviously anything could happen. You can have an accident at any point, but in my experience of 2,500 miles, I wouldn't foresee a situation where you couldn't get out of trouble, or Anything under 40, I mean, you can easily figure your way out of anything. Even if somebody pulls up in front of you, you've got enough stopping power going that slow that it wouldn't be an issue for the helmets. That was just my 2 cents. I mean, I think so far this motorcycle helmet legislation has been introduced 3 or 4 times and it's failed every time. I don't think it's ever going to get passed. It's one of those things, once you're down that road, it's hard to pull it back. You guys should go online and go look at some of the video of the session in the local state representatives, and they were talking about why this legislation should be passed, and then conversely why it shouldn't. And interestingly enough, they had some physicians come in from Charlotte, North Carolina, and Charlotte is right on the border of South Carolina, so evidently they see trauma. They see accidents of motorcyclists that don't wear the helmet right across the state line. And so their testimony was, hey, look, here's what happens when you don't wear it, here's what happens when you do wear it. So the deck was stacked against us. They call us a freedom of choice movement, but my philosophy is, if all these other states don't let you wear it or don't make you wear it, then why is it mandatory in 19 states? Just doesn't add up to me. But I'm actually curious to see what some of you think, some of you new riders particularly. Would you ever go on a bike without a helmet, just even for a short cruise or just a short ride somewhere? Would you ever do that? Because I've done it a couple of times, just very surreptitiously. I've gone in back roads without a helmet, and there's just a certain sense of freedom doing that. It's actually pretty fun. And who knows, maybe something will change in the future, but at least here, I think in these southeastern states, they'll probably have us wearing these motorcycle helmets for good. But again, you can always tour the country, and odds are you'll come across a state where you can take your helmet off, put it in your backpack or in your case on your bike, and then just sort of enjoy a stretch of road. Let that wind come through your hair, I think it's something to look forward to. But feel free to leave some comments down there. I'm curious to see what some of you new riders, or maybe some of you guys who haven't even started the sport yet, what do you guys think about helmets? And maybe we can do like an informal poll even. I appreciate you guys checking out the video.